Hi, I am Fadwa Hadgan, and this is 5 Minutes into the Future series, where in 5 minutes, I would interview someone who's an expert on the future of work, trying to understand how are we going to work in the days ahead. Today, I am joined by Josh, and Josh works day in and day out trying to answer one question, which is, how is corporate learning going to look like? Hi, Josh. How are you?
Hey, Fadwa. Doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Josh, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Josh Acosta, and I am on the HR research team here at SAP SuccessFactors, and also a PhD candidate in industrial and organizational psychology. And what I've been doing here is really studying the intersection of the psychology of work and how this relates to the employee experience, HR practices, as well as HR technology. And specifically, I'm doing a lot of research right now that really looks at organizational learning and trying to understand how organizations can best facilitate lifelong learning in the future.
So, Josh, help me understand, why is lifelong learning a critical skill for the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't know what the future holds, right? But the only thing we know is that it's going to be different than it is right now, right? And the way we adapt is by learning. We know that 1 billion workers are going to need to be reskilled by 2030. And this is all about really closing the skill gap of the future and really ensuring that employees have the skills to do the work of the future, right? Work is going to constantly be changing, and learning is going to be the key to really addressing this skill gap in the future.
So Josh, I think with 1 billion people needing to be reskilled over the next 9 years, we will need to unlearn what we already know and relearn new skills, right? Which means that we will do a lot of learning in the future, and we are now more busy than ever. So I guess my question to you is, how can I ensure that learning is part of the day-to-day activity of every member in my team, for instance?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that organizations need to actively prioritize, right? Both in terms of strategy as well as, just time on the job, right? This is something that is going to benefit employees as well as organizations in the future, as well as, sustaining motivation to learn. A lot of our research shows, and a lot of past psychological research shows, that if you need 3 basic needs of people, that they're going to be wanting to sustain that motivation to learn on their own. And those needs are the need for autonomy, to make the decisions about their lives and exercise control over their lives, the need for belongingness, the need to actually feel a part of a social group, whether that's at work or at home, and as well as the need to feel competent, right? The need to feel like you're contributing something meaningful to the group. And as long as we meet these needs, a lot of the time learners are going to be motivated to want to learn, to seek information out, as well as be curious about what they can do to do the work in the future.
These are really good 3 learning hacks. So just to recap, you mentioned autonomy.
Yep.
What was the second one?
Belongingness, so the need to feel a part of a group at work, as well as the need for competence, right? The need to provide a sense of a contribution to the team, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely taking these learning hacks with me in the future.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I'm always thinking about is, it's often said that learners are not usually ready to learn when teaching is taking place. So as we go into the future of work, how can I make sure that, information is available when a learner is ready to consume it or learn a new skill, etc.?
A lot of our research shows that actually a good amount of learning at work happens in the flow of work, right? It's not necessarily work or learning where you're going to actually dedicate time to take an online course, per se, right? And I think there's a lot of things that organizations can do to make sure that learning content is easily accessible. But I think one of the best solutions is having the right technology, right? To have and give employees that they have the access to the right content when they're ready to digest it, right? You never want accessibility to be the showstopper or the reason why employees can't learn and really interact with the knowledge that they're seeking, right? And having different modalities for learning content really is going to be best for the future. And a lot of the research that I've been doing also supports that particularly mobile accessibility to learning content on mobile is going to be key for especially deskless workers.
That's interesting. I never thought I would use my mobile other than, watching TikTok videos. Josh, these were some amazing insights into the future. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, I just want to understand, how can we find you on the internet if we have follow-up questions?
Yeah, you can reach me on my LinkedIn.
Awesome. Josh, thank you, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.